everyone, it's almost the end of January and what seems to be a tradition on BookTube is we do a wrap up at the end of the month telling everybody what books we read and what we thought of them. So here's my first wrap up ever, bear with me. So the first couple of books I finished at the very beginning of the year were Stars Above and Winter, both by Marissa Meyer and both part of the Lunar Chronicles series. I have done a review on the Lunar Chronicles. If you want to go and see that, it's down. I'll probably put a link down below for you so you don't have to go rummaging through all my videos. I really enjoyed it. It's a good sci-fi fairy tale retelling of, in Winter's case, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And Stars Above is a nice little collection of short stories. You don't need to read it to appreciate the big books, but it's a nice little addition if you want a complete world. I really enjoyed them. I thought they were good reads. I would certainly recommend them to somebody looking for a sci-fi book with a bit of a twist that's not too heavy, but it has really likeable characters in them. The next book I finished was Eliza Rose by Lucy Worsley. This is a historical young adult book set in the Tudor court of Henry VIII. It follows Eliza, who is a young lady from a wealthy family who's looking to get their claws into the court of Henry VIII, and they can only do this through their daughter, who effectively needs to marry someone really wealthy and get some money. It follows some of the events that happened during Henry VIII's time, most notably his marriage to Anne of Cleves, that's the fourth wife for those of you who did history, and his subsequent marriage to Catherine Howard, who we meet before she gets to the court in this book, and it attempts to explain some of the things that happened during that time. So if you're interested in Tudor history, particularly Henry VIII, and want to know a little bit more about what it might have been like for a young girl at that time, why things were a certain way, and just perhaps why Catherine Howard has this such terrible reputation of being a bit of a hussy, this is quite a good, gentle read. The next couple of books I read, I actually borrowed from the library. I don't have them on me. So first up is Guardians of the Galaxy, The New Guard, Volume 1, Emperor Quill. Then I had a couple of Doctor Who graphic novels. So I got the 10th Doctor Volume 3, which is The Fountains of Forever, and the 9th Doctor Volume 1, Weapons of Past Destruction. Both the Doctor Who graphic novels are really good at capturing that era of the show in book form. The characters are spot on, the storylines are really good, the artwork's amazing. I really enjoyed them. The Guardians of the Galaxy graphic novel, completely alien territory really for me. I've only actually read one of them before, and again it was a volume 1 of an arc, so I was kind of jumping in a little bit. I didn't know what had happened before in this series. I don't know where it goes, but it was really clever how the Guardians have changed slightly. We've got new members, how the dynamics of the group have changed, and I really enjoyed reading it. I just thought it was really good fun. Another book I finished this month was Maze Running and Other Magical Mishaps by Larry Don. It was the last book in the Fabled Beasts Chronicles, and I think I might have done a review on that. If not, I'll be doing one on the whole series at some point. Also this month I managed to get through Reckless Book 1 by Cornelia Funk. This is The Petrified Flesh. It's a historical fantasy parallel world, but set not in good old merry old England. This is set on continental Europe, mainly Germany, at the sort of turn of the century time, but that's only when you go through the mirror, and that's the important bit. Very little of the story takes part in our universe. It's set in the mirror world where magical beasts, fairies, trolls, mermaids and God knows what else exist and are pretty horrific and terrifying. And it's a really clever telling of fairy tales and mythical creatures in what to me is quite an alien landscape, because I don't know much about Germany. I don't really know much of the landscape. I know the fairy tales are all set there and that's where they've come from. But for me, this book was more of a challenge because it's been translated. And for the first few chapters, I was very aware that something was wrong. The language was, it was very prosy. I don't know if that's a word, but I'm going to use it. And it took me a while to actually twig, hang on, was this written in a different language? Because it's certainly reading like it was. And my husband said, yeah, actually, this is the woman who wrote Inkheart, and her books are translated into English. Once I'd got my head around how the flow of the language worked in the book, I really enjoyed it. It was a really good story about Jacob trying to save his brother's life. He's turning into a Goyle, which is effectively a stone man. And I really like the characters and the land that they find themselves in, and nothing's as what it seems. It's really cleverly woven together and leaves you feeling like, oh, that was satisfying, but there's more to tell. So I'm really pleased I've managed to pick up book 2 in this series, and I'll be hopefully reading that next month. But yeah, if you've not read Inkheart, or even if you have, I would say give the Reckless series a go, because I think they're really magical and really clever. Yeah, give it a go. Finally, the last book I read this month, I actually finished beginning of last week, is Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. I know lots of people pronounce it Maas. I keep pronouncing it Mars, but it's because it's got the double A, and I'm really not sure how to pronounce it, so I'm going to have to look this one up. Anyway, it's the second book in the Throne of Glass series, and I have to say I was so pleased with this book. There was a lot riding on this one. For those of you who saw my review of Throne of Glass, you know that I didn't like Selena very much. In fact, at all. So when I came to the beginning of this book, I was really hoping that she would impress me, that it would be good, that the character would work. And I have to say, within 2 chapters, like, yep, brilliant, dead shaft. I've never been so happy to be wrong about a character in a book series, because suddenly there was the person that I expected to have been reading about in book 1. She was doing her assassinary thing, she was plotting, she was planning, she was everything that I wanted her to be in book 1 and didn't see. So I ploughed my way through Crown of Midnight. I have to say that the last third is just like a roller coaster that once you're on you can't get off. So I really need to get hold of book 3, and I was absolutely gutted it wasn't in my library on Saturday, so I might have to go and find it somewhere else, which is really annoying. So this month I read 9 books, 3 of which are graphic novels, but don't hold that against me, which for me is a new record. I don't think I've ever read so many books, ever, in a month. So whether I'll be able to keep up this pace, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping I do, because it's really nice actually sitting down and reading books and getting involved in all these different stories. So I'll have to see how I go next month, see how many I get through, and just try and keep it realistic. I've done 9 this month, but it's been wet and gloomy. I've not been out in the garden as much, and I've made an effort to do reading rather than sitting around and twiddling my thumbs. So please let me know what you read this month. Which was your best book of the month? I would probably say, do you know, I really enjoyed Winter. I liked Crown of Midnight. I liked Maze Running. Do you know, I think I had quite a good month on books reading. There wasn't a duff one among them, and they were all different, which was really nice. So yeah, I enjoyed all my books this month. Let me know what you're reading this month, what your favourite book was, what your least favourite book was, things that you think I ought to be reading. Leave a comment below so I can check it out. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Bye.